Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. How my last few MC sessions have been going. The one question that's been on my mind recently that I finally brought up during MC, if AP's wife didn't out the both of you, would you have confessed on your own? When I asked that, the response I got was basically pure silence. When all she did was cry. I honestly believe she doesn't even know the answer. I walked out of that session. I haven't answered a text or phone call in almost 3 weeks. What's been even more revealing though is during the past few sessions, before that last one, she somehow developed a superiority complex, and felt that I was somehow too inferior to be an equal partner. Mainly because of her education, and her job, which she wouldn't have had if it wasn't for me. Her AP satisfied and enabled that egoism, I couldn't think of a better word, and all the inadequacies and negatives were basically projected onto me. It was actually after that session where I ended up filing for separation and cut her off completely. I stopped all payments that I was helping her out on, utilities, groceries, college debt etc., and I cut her out of my insurance. The reaction might have been extreme, but it honestly made my blood boil hearing it. Also, the reason why I've had so many hang-ups. So this is where I'm at right now. It's a long journey with many ups and downs. Take all the time you need. Do you have a support system? Friends, family to talk to? Does she? Do you think she wants to reconcile because of love or more because of the safety you provided? Honestly, I have no idea at this point. It's got me spinning my wheels, so to speak. You are learning to love and respect yourself, and you are questioning her respect towards you, which is challenging for her. If she wants real reconciliation, she needs to be open and honest, as hard as it may be. Also, if she feels superior, rolling eyes face, man face palming, due to education etc., then she should know this by now. Shame she used the crying card instead of giving an honest answer. Even if it's not what you wanted to hear, I'm sure you'd appreciate the honesty as you are offering the reconciliation, thus being there in MC, man shrugging. I still don't understand where this sense of superiority came from, but it definitely got worse during her affair. The non-answer kind of pushed me over the edge. I've been silent ever since. I probably won't interact with her until the next MC session. Too much stress for me to deal with right now. She was deep in the affair fog. There was zero chance that she would have confessed before she got out of the fog. Well, she's out now. And I understand that AP is divorced and she is not with him but trying to get back to you. So you are not so inferior after all. Do you have kids together? As I cannot seem to find it in your post history. As she still has college debt, you are still in your 20s? D-Day is a year ago and you live separately since? If it was a year ago and she is still doing the work, she must really want you back. Did you get some IC for yourself? Sorry for all the questions, but I find it hard to give meaningful advice when there is so little info. Mid-30s, no kids. We live separately, but due to other circumstances we didn't start MC until September/October of last year. I haven't gotten IC myself. While we've been separated, living apart, we've been legally separated for a short amount of time. Is she still carrying on the affair, or at this point are each of you free to date? Just wondering, since if you're going to do the AP has to be out of the picture, otherwise why even start? He's been out of the picture since D-Day. As far as dating is concerned, that's a big no. No point in her pushing R if she wants to date. If she did want to date, I would have divorced her on the spot. Reality check. Rant. It's been almost 5 months since I've been legally separated from my WW, and I gotta say it's been a huge wake-up call for her. Since I've essentially cut off all monetary support, she has finally gotten a window into her own spending and other behavior habits. Miss High and Mighty. The reason why I call her this is because she's become ridiculously self-entitled and egotistical, has been getting a kick in the ass by reality. Her inability to manage her own spending was one of the biggest issues of our relationship. Her previous job plus my monetary support is how she's managed to avoid debt. Now that she has neither, she ended up burning through her savings, which was substantial, and is finally understanding what it means to live within her means. Have you had another MC since the last one when you walked out? Hoping the reality she is in may snap her out and allow her to accept what she has done. If so, healing can begin more if that's what you want. The MC we have now is pretty good. She actually recommended that we spend time reacquainting with each other, which is what we've been doing. Surprisingly, we've actually been on a few dates. So things are progressing, but fairly slowly. Ah, that's great to hear. I assume you're paying for dates, sneering face. About half and half. I was joking. Just glad you seem happier. Superiority complex issue subsiding as she accepts what she did? More like being in debt has sort of gotten rid of that. LOL. Well, shaking her out of the fog however it was is a good thing. Although it is all well and good that she's getting a big dose of reality, you need to be careful that she isn't pursuing reconciliation for what you have to offer her, i.e. your money, home, life's luxuries, etc., but instead, pursuing you as an end in and of itself, not as a means to an end. This has been one of my biggest worries, to be honest. So far MC helped to alleviate some of those concerns. Gonna take things slow in any case. Have either of you been dating others? If so, that likely added even more issues. Nope. If that happened, any thoughts of reconciliation would have never happened. MC Revelation and Rant. Something came up in MC that I kind of want to share. It's become apparent that my WW and I basically live in two different worlds. This basically goes into how vastly different things are between our two houses. At my WW's place our wedding pictures, and pictures of us as a couple are pretty much everywhere. She rescued them from the trash heap that was going to the dump in the garage. At the main house, where I'm currently living, there's nothing that even indicates I'm married, let alone in a relationship. There's literally nothing of her anywhere in the house. It's basically been like this since I threw her out, but 7 months into attempting reconciliation on top of being separated since D-Day, first week of November 2020, and legally separated since September of last year, I didn't notice this, and it actually took my WW to bring it up during MC that I actually became aware of it. The counselor has pretty much stated that the current living arrangements / surroundings etc. are a reflection of our current mindset. She also stated that my WW has to earn her place back into the home. Progress, at least for now, is good. I also haven't raged at her, or the therapist, in months, so progress is working on both ends of the spectrum, I guess. I totally get the separation, and 7 months doesn't seem that long to me. However, I'm older and I know people move faster these days. We were separated and talked almost every day and saw each other frequently during the week. No dating others, no sex. It gave us both an opportunity to think about how we got to the point, what we really wanted for ourselves and our relationship, and what we are willing to do to move forward. It also was really good not to be living together while in MC. I needed space to process my feelings and thoughts, and honestly sometimes a drink afterwards. The sessions were intense and I was near to emotional overload. This is her opportunity to prove her intent. If either partner can't be faithful during a separation, then what's the point? Take your time up and do what you need. We are the same. I needed time and space as a BS, and I moved back to a city I love. Since our separation we talked more, re-established our friendship, and romance followed. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't understand separation for 7 months. How do you even know the person you're married to anymore at that point? Can't speak for anyone else, but I clearly didn't know him while we were under one roof, So separation, at least for me, has no effect on that. Touché. But how did you not drift further apart? How did that not allow WS to go completely to AP unabated? To me, it doesn't make sense because out of sight, out of mind, right? Isn't the alone time of WS what allowed for the issues to begin with? I'm not his probation officer or his mama. If he is going to cheat, he will. He made that pretty clear. My safety doesn't depend upon him keeping it in his pants or anything having to do with him. He's proven he's not safe. My safety comes from me and my knowing I will be okay regardless of what he does. If he wants the last one, or a fresh piece of AP tails, he has free will. If the last one wants to sniff around and see if the coast is clear, I can't stop her. I don't want him to behave just because I'm watching. He has to choose not to harm me because it's the right thing to do, not because I'll get mad if he makes the wrong choice. He cheated when I was there, so my being there clearly is not an impediment. I couldn't refer to my WS as my husband. At the time he didn't deserve that title. 2 years post D-Day and separated for the last 21 months. I call him my husband. I look forward to seeing him and talking to him, and I'll be moving back at the end of the lease. Congratulations. Smile. How does this work? Do you date people? Do you just kind of live a Spartan life by yourself? What about her? To me that seems like a long time to be separated, but I don't really have any experience. We live in separate houses, but we're basically together on a daily basis. Also, there's been no dating. Are there conditions that would have to exist to live together again? Edited to not be so demanding for an answer. I'm just curious, and if you don't care to share, I totally get it. If things keep going as they are, then living together again is more than likely. We stay over at each other's places on a fairly regular basis now, which is a massive improvement from what's been going on. Also, the houses are fairly close, so it's not really much of a hassle to go from one to the other. About MC in general. Is it a normal thing in MC where your counselor gives you homework mainly in the form of reading books/articles etc., and having couples doing things with each other? The homework our MC recently gave us was making a list of positive things we see about each other, and setting up special date nights where we can be more intimate. She also suggested we indulge in each other's hobbies. No way in hell I'm doing this one. My hobbies are basically my me time. No way I'm taking her along on a fishing trip. My one-on-one with MC. Reflections. Finally had a real knockdown drag-out discussion with MC during one-on-ones. She now knows where I'm at least mentally, which is this: I'm torn between revenge/retribution versus reconciliation. I've never been a forgiving kind of person, and frankly some things just can't be forgiven, in this case cheating and betrayal of trust. This is where I'm at with the WW, because I'm finding it extraordinarily difficult to even begin forgiving her for that. I've taken a very cost/benefit approach to R, which may not be the healthiest approach, but, and I've said this before, I'm on the fence when it comes to reconciling in general. Even I don't know how much I'm willing to give/have left to give to maintain this relationship. Sunk costs have been on my mind for a while now, and while I've addressed that with the MC, my concerns weren't addressed at this current appointment. We've scheduled another one-on-one, so maybe my issues can be addressed then. I'm not going to go into complete detail, but I just wanted to highlight my current predicament. Was curious if anybody is/was in the same boat. I'd add the question flare, but can only post one flare. I just thought reflections was better suited. Nostalgia. Question for the BS's: has your WS attempted to use nostalgia as a way to attempt to get you back into the relationship? This is what I feel has been happening for the past couple months or so. She wears the clothes I used to like on her, the places we used to eat at, and even the occasional weekend road trip to a random location. The road trip thing started with my best friend and I. We'd just get in a car and just drive someplace random. I sorta continued this with WW, but I stopped doing this with her. WS going through phone. Rant. Just as the title says. Anybody have this happen to them too? Caught WW going through my phone. Don't exactly know what she was looking for considering the fact that I barely use it. Really pissed me off though. Called her out on the hypocrisy of it and ended up having a fight and cancelling date night. This happened over the weekend. A shift perspective. Reflections. Encountering the WW's XAP has caused a major perspective shift in me. I don't think I'm ever going to get over this. I haven't seen hide nor hair of this guy in over a year, and the impulse to beat his face in for being in the same vicinity as me is testament to that fact. Police getting involved, and me having to pay a stupidly large fine for losing my shit, violating protective order, makes the entire situation worse and untenable. For my own sanity I decided to file for divorce. Distance and time is what I need more than anything. Reconciliation was a shot in the dark in the first place, but it might have had a chance. Running into her XAP and my reaction to him changed things, or at least just made things clearer. At least the court-ordered anger management might help clear things up. As for the STBXW, somebody's bound to ask in either the thread, or message me, so I'm adding it here. She didn't take the news well and had a bit of a breakdown. I'm guessing she invested a lot into MC healing things between us. Given the fact that I decided to proceed with divorce, she has to find another place to live. I decided to give her till the end of next month to move as a way of being amicable. Since I own the other house, she's basically going to have to move in with either her mother or sister. Since I've filed, I feel lighter in a sense, and the past few days have been surprisingly pretty calm. I'm actually looking forward to moving on. The past couple of years have been pretty shitty, but I'm happy to put it behind me. I appreciate all the advice I've gotten on threads and DMs. Been a while since I posted here. Quick recap, and divorce. Recovery. So, quick recap, wife cheated with co-worker. AP's wife goes nuclear and gets her husband, and my wife fired, and gives me everything she had about their cheating. I beat the shit out of AP, and got arrested. Was initially charged with a felony, but it was downgraded to a misdemeanor. Damn good lawyer. Spent 30 days in jail, did it on the weekends, paid a fine for the assault, had to pay for AP's hospital bills, and AP put out a protective/restraining order against me. This all happened in November 2020. The defense attorney points me to my current divorce attorney. I booted her ass out of the house when I found out. We lived separately, and decided to try reconciling near the fall of last year. Reconciliation was being pushed heavily by my ex-wife. Lawyer advised that I at least attempt it, made my position in court better, I guess, considering the fact that I live in a conservative state. Ended up running into her ex-AP almost 3 weeks ago. Shit got pretty bad, but no fighting happened. Violated the PO. Ended up having to pay a fine. After that I decided to file for divorce almost 2 weeks ago. Gotta say this, after almost 2 years of just being angry almost all the time, signing those papers was one of the most freeing things I've ever done. Took a few days off and went fishing. Didn't catch anything, but holy hell I was happy for a change. She still hasn't signed. Rant. Like the title says. She still hasn't signed. Sitting on those damn papers, and it's irritating the duck out of me. All communication goes through my lawyer, so if she sits on the papers for too long, I guess we go for a default judgment. There will be no division of assets, as we kept finances etc. separate. We have no kids, she can't have any, and the houses were owned by me before we ever got married in the first place. The lollygagging making me impatient. Update. Got an early call from lawyer. The now ex-wife signed the papers. Divorce is going uncontested. This dumpster fire is over. My best friend and his fiancé are moving back to town, so we're gonna be celebrating next week. I don't drink, so no bar hopping, but we will be going to a very expensive steakhouse. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.